live. Hey, this is Robert Ferguson. Joining me, my partner in crime,
Tanya Mene!
So welcome to the very first Live It with Tanya and Robert.
I'm so excited. It is our first episode.
Our very first.
We've worked really hard to get to this moment.
Yes.
I know.
And I'm excited and delighted to be working with you.
Me too, Robert.
So there's so much that we're going to be talking about. Today's show is going to be awesome.
It is going to be awesome.
And I'm not going to jump too far ahead, but I do want to kind of kick this off the right way.
Sure.
Okay, so I want you to grab your collagen.
Okay.
Okay, this is youth in a cup.
You do this every day to stay young.
Yes.
83.
83.
And I'm about 74.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm sorry.
Oh,
How could I
she
not?
just left me behind. Just left me behind. But seriously, this is some good stuff. So let's get this party started in the right way.
Okay.
I am loving all of this.
Do we drink the whole thing?
We do,
right?
and this is actually quite a bit.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
You're actually supposed to do a tablespoon in the morning and a tablespoon at night, but you can do.
But you know, we can do what we want. So, for you guys to get a better understanding of what this show is, I would love to kind of interview you, and then you interview me. But
you got it, Robert.
Let's talk about why is it that we went with the name Live It with Tanya and Robert.
Well, I mean, really, and we have not rehearsed this either.
No.
This is this is the first time he's really asking me. But, no, I mean, So I know that most of you know that it's been a very interesting last couple of years. I ended up quitting the last TV show that I was on, which we're going to be talking about that later in the show.
Ooh.
And so for me, this is a dream. It really is a dream come true to do a show like this. We are helping people find their purpose and passion, their it.
I love that.
Right. And
Yes.
I mean, I'm the kind of person where I do a lot of philanthropic work as well, as I know that you do too. And it's just very, very, very important for me to make this kind of mark in the world. So I'm very excited about finally doing the kind of TV show that I have always dreamt of doing. So.
And it's one of those shows, we've talked about this for a very long time.
We did.
And, when people ask us, what do you really mean when you talk about live it? And it, as we share with so many people, has no meaning until you associate meaning to it, right?
Right.
So if you look at Nike, they have just do it. And what is it? It could be running, it could be basketball, it could be skiing.
An artist, could be even a TV host.
It could be a TV host.
Right.
And back in the day, Michael Jackson, when he was doing his last tour, he had titled it, This is
It.
Yes! This is it. So
Yeah.
what does that really mean? For me, if I had the chance to go to his last show, it would have been seeing Michael Jackson from, Thriller. It would have been maybe Off the Wall. But everyone would have had their chance to experience it.
Oh, can you imagine? I
Yes.
know.
And so we're Live It.
And you have lived your it for most of your career, actually.
I feel like I'm living my it.
You are living your
Yeah,
it. I get so inspired by Robert too. No, honestly, when I'm having the worst day ever, I know that I can always call you, and you can always just get my mind back on track. So, and it is because when you're living your it,
Yes.
you tend to have more great days than not so great days.
So let's talk about it. What do we mean by it? So there's 3 verticals, right, that you can expect with this show. The first one is, as Tanya mentioned, purpose and passion. Right? So what is your purpose? What is your passion? Are they the same? And we're going to be talking about that in all of our shows.
Yeah, we want to help you find your purpose and passion as well.
Right, and if you know your purpose and passion, right, so you've discovered your it, the next part of that is owning your it. And
Owning your it!
And I love when you said to me, owning it, I asked Tanya, I said, what do we mean by that? And you said, taking responsibility.
Well, I think that owning your it is probably the most difficult phase as far as once you've found your it and then moving into the owning your it. I think that that's probably the most challenging phase of it all because, for instance, you're going to have to make some pretty difficult decisions to finally own your it. So let's say that you're an accountant, you're working, and that's all you do, you're just numbers every day, but deep down inside you want to be an artist or you want to be whatever it is you want to be. And you know that in order to make the decisions and make the choices that you need to make to really own your it, they're not always easy. And that means disappointing family members. That means, doing whatever you know that you need to do to cross over that threshold and finally own your it.
Wow.
I know that I've been through,
No, I mean, that was very well said. I'm sitting here
thanks,
going,
Robert.
wow, look at Tanya, seminar guru here. Owning the it. And then the last vertical is when we talk about living your it. And for me, living your it oftentimes is the most difficult part because, and I'm with you on owning it.
No, but you know, it can be different for everybody.
Yeah, but how do you make money doing what you love? Most of the time, in my experience, I've seen people say they love to do this, but they got to go to work to pay the bills.
Right.
Like there's like a disconnect.
I think most people actually probably live in that area a little bit.
But in this show, you're going to learn how to monetize, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And we're going to be taking this on the road.
We are. So we're going to be doing 4 live events. But before we get to the live events, we're actually launching the entire Live It Summit, April 7th. All over social media. We're going to be doing a huge blast, which we're really excited about. And we're going to have 20 incredible speakers, 20 incredible speakers that are actually living their it, owning their it, that have made a lot of money pursuing their it.
Yes.
So we're so excited to be able to interview them and share them with you via PDF, audio, video.
Everything,
we're going to have them here in the studio. We're going to interview them whichever way that works for you.
Right here in the studio here at Focus. So we're at Focus TV Studios.
Focus TV in Hollywood.
That's right. We are in it, living it, baby, living it.
That's right.
Now we do have some really cool things that are going to be coming up in the show. We have an awesome guest that we're going to be introducing you guys to. We're going to have an amazing conversation.
A very interesting conversation and one you may not expect.
Yeah,
right?
And you definitely don't want to go anywhere because when we come back after this short little break, we're going to come back and we're going to have a conversation about something that Oprah has made very public. And Tanya is part of this big movement. So as we take this little break, don't go anywhere, but get your popcorn. Because when we come back, we're going to get to hear about something that is touching a lot of people all over the world. Okay, are you ready to take a break?
I'm going to take a deep breath first because this was very hard for me to, finally show you what we're about to show. Right. Okay, it's a big deal for me. Seriously.
All right, so we'll be right back in 60 seconds, you guys. Doom. I love that music. I just love the opening of our show. So we're back, right? With Tanya and Robert on the Live It Show. Again, this is our very first episode. We're so excited. And we're here at the Focus TV Studios in Hollywood. But what I want to do for this next little section here, Robert, what is trending right now? Like what topics are trending? What things you want to talk about? What is talk about a bull? Ooh, I like that.
Robert Ferguson.
Well, this is what's in the news right now. It happens to be part of what I do for a living, right? As far as nutrition and fitness and all that stuff. There was a new study that just came out. And in the study, they did a competition between the low-fat diet and the low-carb diet.
Ooh, I love it.
So who do you think won? Which one is better, low-fat or low-carb? Uh-oh. Drum roll, please.
I'm going to let you answer that.
Well, look, I mean, the winner was either way. It's kind of like do what works best for you.
I'm glad you said that because I really honestly didn't want to screw up your whole thing. I didn't know the answer. Like I wasn't sure if I had. I'm just going to drink my collagen and you can just keep going.
I mean, really, at the end of the day, being mindful. But what I hope people get out of this study is that carbs are not bad. Carbs really are your friend. And so I want to encourage people to eat carbs, just learn how to do it in the right way.
Robert has taught me that I can go through the McDonald's drive-thru and eat a fish fillet as a snack and not feel bad about it.
And my goodness.
I'm going to admit that I haven't been to McDonald's in probably about 10 years. And now we're getting it ordered to our house by delivery. Yeah. Okay, I admitted that.
Well, that wasn't just you. That was the producer of this show, actually.
Andy. Yeah. Andy Waldman, we love Andy.
Andy was like, let's put this to the test. And,
and he's sitting on my couch going, let's just order McDonald's and see what happens.
We did like a test with technology. We had food delivered. I mean, I never thought the Golden Arches would just come directly to your door. Knock, knock.
Yes. So I had no idea either. Yes. But yes, you can actually have McDonald's delivered right to your door.
Right to your door. Now, there is something that's trending right now.
Let's talk about it.
I'm gonna grab it. So I'm gonna step off a little bit. And I'm going right from the hip. I just want to show this thing because this is called Shape-A.
Shape-A.
And you're currently experiencing it.
I am. I got mine about 10 days ago.
This is not like just some round thing that's on the floor. This is, it's kind of like a scale. It's a device. And what it does is that when you step on it, the first 10 days, you step on it in the morning and the evening, and it calibrates everything about you, right?
Yes. And if you're doing a really good job, it shows you confetti on your phone. Like it says, good job, and then there's confetti that goes, yeah, you're doing great.
It's a numberless scale. So, I mean,
numberless.
So be real with the people. Like, imagine stepping on a scale.
Yes.
And the scale does not tell you what you weigh, but it tells you if you're doing good or not.
Right, which is great because it's more about body composition instead of weight. Because we all know that we've gone on this, we've gotten on the scale and we've either gained 5 pounds or lost 5 pounds in a day. I mean, that's not. It
happens. Water fluctuates.
Right, which is a false reading, really, with where you're at in your health.
But you guys are going to hear more and more about this product. It's called Shape-A. And if you connect with us, we can actually give you a code where you can get a discount.
Yep.
But we're going to be talking about this product because it's going to revolutionize how people literally track their weight, their fat weight, their body composition, their age, their overall health. It's going to do all of that.
So if you exercise, you get confetti.
Nice.
Okay. I was imagining that it was actually falling all over my bathroom today while I stepped on the scale. If you eat well, and it also gives you tips, which is what I love. So it'll be like, okay, so today's mission is da-da-da-da-da-da, go and do this, 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 this. Tomorrow's mission, blah, 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 right? Like it actually gives you like day-to-day missions, which is really exciting.
I mean, it's amazing. Like it has different colors that pop up.
Yes.
That basically kind of guide you on what steps to take based on getting to a certain color. And each color means something.
Each color means something.
I mean, it's really amazing. And we're not doing it just by just touching on it a little bit. And that's why we want to come back and really bring clarity to what is going to revolutionize how people look at their weight, their health.
And it's personalized to you too.
Yes.
So you input all of this fun information about yourself, your lifestyle, your habits, your exercise, eating, whatever it is for you. And then it calibrates it over a period of 10 days. Super simple, and then it kind of knows you. You have this relationship with your Shape-A.
Okay.
I do. I like mine.
And then you do get used to it, and you love it.
I did. I haven't named it yet, so if any of you want to help me name my Shape-A, we'll personalize it.
We will personalize it. Well, the other thing that's still trending is this whole movement that Oprah brought.
Yes.
And you have tapped into that, and you're part of that movement.
Yes, my heart's beating very fast right now, but yeah, I ended up leaving the last TV show that I was on, and because of something that had occurred over, a 4-year period of time, and it was just time for me to leave. And I never, ever, ever thought that I was actually going to talk about it. But after hearing Oprah's speech, it was time. And so I finally got the courage and the guts to talk about my story and what happened and what it means for me now and why I decided to talk about it.
So Tanya, we produced an interview with Tanya where she talks quite a bit about what took place in her life and with this whole movement. And we're going to be releasing it and making it available on the launch of her new website, TanyaMimi.com, which is really cool.
Thank you.
And you'll be able to access this show and all the other things that we're doing through TanyaMimi.com. But I want to talk about it a little bit, but I also want to share with you guys like a little snippet of the idea that you'll get when you actually see the full interview when we make it available.
Yeah.
So we're going to roll that. Let's roll it right now.
I honestly never thought I was ever going to share the story publicly. Like, I just never did. It was something that was extremely traumatizing for me that I just sort of wanted to move on from. And then when, you know, I saw Oprah Winfrey give her speech at the Golden Globes, I sort of just sat there staring at the TV going, I mean, I'm one of those women and I'm not saying anything. So, and I had sort of, you know, I posted this thing on Facebook at literally like 1 o'clock in the morning because I just sort of wanted to like put feelers out there. And I was very emotional after I heard her speech and knowing that I just wasn't really doing anything. And it was, you know, I live a life of giving back and inspiring and wanting to set an example, see other people happy. Anybody that knows me personally will say that I'm probably one of the most giving people they've ever met, to a fault sometimes. But in this way, I wasn't giving back. I wasn't telling my story. I wasn't setting an example. I was sort of hiding everything that I felt that who I was. And so after hearing her speech, I posted on Facebook. The only thing I said in that little post was, you know, I said something about how grateful I am that these women have the strength to come out and tell their stories. And then I said, maybe it's time to tell my story of why I quit home and family. That's all I said.
Wow, that was like,
I know.
I mean, I got goosebumps.
So did I.
And,
my palms are sweating.
And I've seen the entire thing, so you definitely don't want to miss that, and you will make it available on Facebook, correct?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I didn't even know that we were going to be talking about it on today's show till this morning, but so I just want you to know I didn't plan any of this, but yeah, I am gonna post it on my Facebook and my Instagram, and if you know anybody that the story can help or that they can, you know, relate to it or it might resonate with them, then share it.
See, I love that. Time's up, because there's so many people, like in hearing your story, that are taking advantage of people in the workplace, not just in Hollywood, but this is happening all over the place.
And to men too. It's not just women, it is men as well.
And
so
the scary part is that we still live in a world where one person, one man, one woman could have that much power and influence, not just over one person, but on all the people around them.
Yeah, I think that for some reason they've allowed, you know, Hollywood has, and not, like you said, not only Hollywood, but they've allowed this to happen. Because in my case, there were people above this person as well that didn't do a whole lot to help the situation. And that was really what I was most disappointed by and most affected by, was how I was just not, I was just sort of
thrown, kicked to the curb, basically.
Yeah. And when you feel that way, I really felt like my only option was to quit a show that I loved, you know? So.
And then, you know, when one door closes, others open. And here we are with the Live It! Yay! Where we're going to be bringing it each and every week, you know, bringing the best that we can possibly bring, introducing you to some amazing guests each and every week that will be entertaining, but at the same time, people that can actually give you something so you can, like, take your life to the next level.
Yeah, we want you to take some golden nuggets home with you every time you watch the show.
You know what I mean? It's like you watch Super Soul, or you watch some of these shows that are focused around helping people, like, in their development, but yet they don't always give them the nuggets to get to the next level. It's like you're inspired, but you're not given the tools to get where you want to be.
Right.
And that's one of the differences between what a lot of shows are doing and what our goal is to do, and that's to provide you with nuggets that will help you be extremely successful.
Yes, I agree.
So that leads us up to
our
preparation
interview.
for our little break.
Yes.
And we have an amazing guest today, an awesome guest. I mean, this guy is a scientist by education and training, but he also discovered...
Don't give it away.
That's right, I'm not going to
give it away.
He's
a scientist to what?
I'm not even going to say. I'm afraid to say it.
Wait until you find
Well,
out.
actually, well, should we say it?
No.
Okay, well, you know what?
Come back and discover something that you would, especially me, you know, gone from mommy crafter on one show to this kind of interview on the next. So you're just going to have to find out.
Okay, so we're going to gear up and go to our little studio lounge where we sit down with a gentleman by the name of Calvin Fry. He is a scientist, and he's going to talk about something that a lot of people want to know more about. So we'll see you in a couple minutes.
Hello, Los Angeles. I am your host and producer, Alex Worley, filming inside Focus TV's West Hollywood studio. Welcome to Empowerista, a show dedicated to highlighting female trailblazers and empowering you to turn your barriers into breakthroughs.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Paffrath.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting stories from all over the globe.
Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Aaron.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessa Moye.
And we're making history as the first live streaming daily talk show.
This is where all kinds of shit happens.
Monday through Friday, we are going to be streaming to you live, Los Angeles, at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Alyssa Goodman Show. So, Kelly, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Alyssa. This is so fun.
I know.
What's up, Rose girls? I'm Jessica Carroll. Today we're gonna have so much fun because we have fitness personality Katie Austin.
Hey,
we're
thanks for
having
having me on.
with
Cheers.
Katie Austin.
I love it. It
Cheers.
feels like a Saturday.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Millennial Life. I'm your host, Laura Odegaard, and today we are joined by the very beautiful former Miss California and now a TV host, Natasha Martinez. I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
You are tuning in to Slay with Rachel McCourt, and I have a fabulous guest. In studio with me is Liza Glukoff. She's just been named executive producer of programming at Awesomeness TV. I mean, no big deal, but huge. Hi.
Thank you. Hi.
Are we so excited right now?
We are so excited.
I mean,
Thank
we
you for
have
having me.
roses, we have perfect lighting, we've got some Spa Girl vodka in case we get a little crazy.
Hey, Dr. Aaron here, teaching universal law and spiritual truth, having a conscious conversation in the heart of Hollywood. And I'm honored to have the guest today, who is Christina Pascucci, who is amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's an honor to be here with you. I so appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Jenna Barnett with Millennial Mom on Focus TV. And today I have Jennifer Yen here today to chat with me about all things mom related. So you actually started your career as an actress and you were on the very famous TV series Power Rangers, right?
Yes, I used to fight them as my first career.
You're watching Beige Bay TV. It's fitness expert and your Beige Bay Edwina Chia. Ladies and genticles, Tiffany Angulo. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Partner in crime, Miss Tanya Mimi.
Isn't that true?
Well, now's that time, Tanya.
It is that time, and I love our next guest, who is Calvin Fry, and he's a scientist.
Yes.
But Robert, you got to take it from
Well, he
there.
goes by Cal Fry, the cannabis guy.
The cannabis
You
guy.
heard that. You heard that right. Cannabis. This guy is a scientist. He is an amazing individual that we've been fortunate enough to meet, and now we're doing some things together, which we may touch on. But thank you, Calvin, for being here, man.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Robert.
All right.
You know what? Can I clarify one thing,
Yes.
though? So he's not just the cannabis guy. He's the cannabis guy when it comes to the medical benefits of
Yes.
cannabis.
Yes.
So he's not just any cannabis guy.
Just not any old cannabis guy.
No, so Calvin, I mean, tell us about how you got started in this business and where you're at now.
Dear, it is such a long story, but I will try to bring it in as much as I can. I'm actually a scientist by trade, as you know, and that just, when you grow up, your mom's, dad's like, you get all those good grades, be a doctor, be something, do something with all that. So I tried that, and it just turned out that I'm just not that
in the laboratory
guy. It wasn't it to be in the lab.
It wasn't the it.
Pouring formulas and doing that. So that wasn't happening. And I've always been an outspoken person. And, one day a neighbor of mine had cancer, and he was not looking too well. And this was 13 years ago, 2005. So he came over and he was like, hey, I got to take this chemo, but I'm going to go to this store and buy some cannabis. And I'm like, dude.
Did you know what he meant when he said cannabis? You know what I mean? Like,
I've
did he use the word marijuana?
He used the word marijuana.
Okay. I wouldn't have known what cannabis was.
Right, back then I would say,
what is that?
Can of who?
He probably said that I'm going to go get some weed, probably.
Right.
But, but he shows back, but the point of that is he told me he was going to a store. And I'm like, dude, there's no such thing in a store. So he comes back, and he has this bag with a receipt. And this is 2005. See, right now it sounds like, it's commonplace.
Right. No, but not back then.
In 2005, while George Bush is still in office, Obama hadn't even come in yet, didn't even know who he was. This dude comes back with a bag of weed with a staple and a receipt. I'd never seen that.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, where did you get this from? And he's like, it's in Hollywood, this place. And so he took it, and long story short, his cancer went into remission, and it was mainly because he was using cannabis to help with the chemo. And then even at that time, he was using some of the chemo oil. And now we know that the cannabis oil, the concentrated oil, is also what helped him kick the cancer. Back then, he just thought, well, at least I can do the chemo, and I'm not throwing up all the time. Right. So that got me into it. And as my scientist background kicked in, I don't personally use myself, didn't then.
See, that's what shocked me most about you, is that you personally don't use it.
I mean, as a scientist, you're drug tested all the time. So they don't want a bunch of high scientists in there blowing stuff.
But you use it as a medical benefit, though.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I use it in tinctures and oils and things like that. I really don't ingest. I tried one time, and let's just it wasn't, it wasn't a happy feeling because, you do an edible, it can take you over.
And then he's on the other side, right? So you have the THC, which is the psychoactive side that gets people the high that we're
that's the high
aware
that
of, and then you have the CBD.
Right. Yeah, and the CBD side is the more medicinal side. It's actually non-psychoactive, so it actually balances it out. That's why when most physicians recommend cannabis to patients, they always try to tell them to combine the two, because then that reduces that high feeling.
Oh, so that's why they do combine it a lot. When you see
it has an entourage effect. The people in my industry that really know this, there's a such thing called an entourage effect, and that's where when you put the two together, because they're together, they work better. One, if I just did THC, it wouldn't work as well if I did it with CBD. So
I love how they call it an entourage effect.
Yes,
I like that.
I like that
hang
too.
out together.
And all I can think about when you say CBD is Belle Biv DeVoe.
ABB, CBD.
I mean, my mind, I don't know why, like poison.
I don't think you're the only person actually. I think a lot of people don't really know what CBD is, right? So they take a guess. But So Calvin, we're talking about our, it's the Live It show with Tanya and Robert.
Right.
We want to talk to you about your passion and purpose, and did that come about slowly? Did you realize it one day? Did you wake up when you were a kid at like 11 and go, I want to make a difference, I want to heal, but like, how did that all come about for you?
I think it came about when you've been told to do one thing your entire life. You're educated, you're smart, you're this science guy, so go be a doctor, go be a scientist or whatnot. Then you go and do what everybody else told you to do, and then you find out this isn't really me. And by chance, because I believe the universe works that way, my neighbor happens to come over, tell me about cannabis, marijuana, whatever it was called back then. I tend to not use that word. But that's something that I never did. And I looked at people like, ooh, you smoke weed, away from me. I'm smart. You're going to be a loser. All of these.
I was so taught the same thing.
We were all taught that.
Right.
And then you realize that this guy comes back to you, and instead of being depressed and skinny and about to die, he comes back healthy and happy because he's using cannabis. Then I got into the business, and all of the numerous people that have come in that have been depressed or sick or whatnot over the years through the products that I've given them, and everybody thinks it's not about just smoking. That's probably one of the least things people do. There's so many brownies and tinctures and lemonades and lotions, potions, everything. So I've seen this help people. I've seen the concentrated cannabis oil, literally, this isn't just through anecdotal research from scientists. I've met the people dying. I've given them the they come back happy and healthy, and their kids are coming in like, Mom says, thank you so much, she's getting better. That is when you like go, hey, this is my purpose. I like this. Instead of taking this education and talking about synthetic pharmaceutical in that industry who are profit driven, here's God's natural plant here that you get to go break stereotypes with and go out and, like, you know, instead of Bill Nye saves the world, it'll be California Cannabis Guys.
No, so would you agree that you're living your passion, your purpose?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because when you, if something is a Schedule I drug, meaning highest illegal drug possible in the United States, that you literally can go to jail for, you can lose everything for, if you have enough passion to say, you know what, I know I could lose everything, I know I could be demonized, but the effect of this actual natural drug on people in their lives is so great that I must dispel this myth, this lie. That gives you passion, and that makes you go out and do it. And when someone is like dying and you save them, that's great. Physicians do it all the time. I'm not a physician. I'm just California Cannabis Guy, but I'm going to make
so let me ask you this based on the whole Live It philosophy, right?
Right on.
Would you agree that, and people you know you very well, would say that, man, Calvin he always likes to help people? Because it seems like I mean, like you share that. You like to help people. I like to help people.
Yeah, I mean, I think that has a lot to do with finding your it. You feel like you're giving back in some way. But.
Right, because it's like you want to just entertain.
Right.
You actually like helping people.
Yeah, it's actually, yeah, that would definitely be it, because, you know, I make money, and I found out that money is just money. That doesn't bring happiness. And as you see all the horrible things that go along in this world that we live in, if you can actually go out and make a difference and make someone happy and make yourself happy, that's what you can take. That legacy you can pass on to your kids. That's something that when I'm like 90 years old, because I'll be using lots of cannabis by then to prolong my life, then you know you're going to feel good, because you'll be able to look back and be like, when everybody else thought demonized drug or this demonized thing, you were one of the guys that said, you know, you guys are wrong, and I'm going to put my life and livelihood and freedom on the line to show the rest of the world that they're wrong. And then when it happens, you know, I can take my
you know what's interesting? This is what I'm picking up. I'm picking up a guy who's tapped into a purpose and passion, right? And then there's that curve of owning it. But you're getting into a business back then where it wasn't about money. Right. You're about helping, where now you have all these people that want to get into cannabis because they want to make money.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, a big difference.
That's very, very true. Now talk about owning your it.
Right.
Because at that time, and correct me if I'm wrong, you weren't making a lot of money. You just had this purpose, this passion, and you were like, okay,
Did your wife think you were crazy?
Yes.
Of course she did.
Hey, I always tell people this little story. No one knew that I even did this. No one knew I had a shop or anything until a year later. The Daily News showed up at my shop and did a little interview, and was like, yeah, you know, we want to start to talk about this because this is real. And then the camera guy was there, and he's like, just take the little vial and hold it up to your, you know, so he can see it. And he took a picture, and we finished the interview, and they left. The next day, I'm walking past the newsstand thingy right there, and guess whose picture is on the front page holding that vial? And this is a time, this is before all the Tommy Chong's and all of this, the stuff that you see now.
Yeah.
This was when no one was doing this. And the line said something about pot dealers going legal. Now, I wasn't happy about calling it pot dealer or whatever, but when you read the article, it was great. So I guess they wanted to sensationalize it, so you bought that newspaper. But then I come home that day, and I got 50 calls. Wow. We saw you on the newspaper. I never knew that's what you were doing, whatever. So by that time, the cat was out of the bag, so I had to own it, as you guys call it, and I was happy to own it. And 13 years later, here I am.
Well, so now you've sort of become an icon in the business. So you've been on.
Say that.
No, but no, you really. I mean, you were on CNN recently. You're on a lot of TV shows, especially with the new legalization happening in January. I mean, you're kind of the guy that everybody's been going to. So we really see you out there now. What was that? What was that like for you? From going from sort of like, I don't know where this is going. My wife thinks I'm crazy. To I made it. Like, I'm making a difference. I'm living my passion, my purpose.
Right. It actually is a good feeling because, aside from the money part and all of the stuff that everybody else is getting into it now, when you're a pioneer, you never forget those sleepless nights. You never forget those low-flying helicopters that you hear, usually for the traffic. But back in my day, those low-flying helicopters were for me.
With the light in your backyard?
Oh,
exactly. That's funny.
And this is real, this is real talk. So when you came from that, when you've been doing this through 3 administrations, Bush, Obama, and now Trump, that means you've been in this for a long time. And to see where this industry is now, this is the next multi-billion-dollar industry. This is the industry that you see on every news blog, TV, everybody's talk. If I watch the news in a segment of a day, somebody somewhere says something about cannabis. The market, the laws, the whatever. And it's been that way for the last 3 years. So I think it's awesome. And I'm happy to be. And
I love there's an educational curve to all of this.
I was just about to say that. There's a lot of misconception around this whole topic.
Which is, you've opened our eyes to so many parts of this. It's like, in one of the stories that you shared a while back, you said there was a woman, this group of people, he was telling me, that were totally against what he was doing because they were very religious. Yeah. Like over the top kind of religious.
Yes.
And fast forward, so much time goes by, one of the ladies who was against him shows up knocking on the door because she now has cancer.
Yeah.
And can you share the rest of that story?
Yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful story to share because it edges on the hypocrisy that surrounds this industry. These people were calling the neighborhood city council and like, we don't believe in this and cannabis and we don't want these people in our neighborhoods and blah, blah, blah. To the point that I literally had to attend a neighborhood city council meeting myself and tell them who I am and tell them all the wonderful things about what we were doing. And the fact that I never had any problems, no police raids, no nothing. And then I won that battle. But they still were like, they didn't like me. I'd see them, they'd give me the stink eye all the time.
And Did you still have helicopters in your backyard?
Yeah, exactly.
Thought so.
And then one day, it's 7 o'clock, we're about to close, this little knock on the door, and it's one of the ladies who were been giving me the stink eye. And she's like, hey, I did a little research and, I have cancer now. And I did a little research, and it really shows that, cannabis actually works well. So instead of me being the Grinch who could have kicked her out of Christmas, I decided to say, come on in, okay? And I explained to her what she should take. She told me the type of cancer, the stage that she was in. And I helped her. And I even told her, you know what? I'm not even going to tell the little ladies that you hang with that you're here. You can come get your medicine at nighttime. I had sent her to get her doctor's rec, and you can come get your medicine. She came, got her medicine. She obviously got better. And, to this day, I haven't shared her secret. But I know what happened. She went back And to all of those little
Of course,
ladies,
yeah.
she told them what happened. She told them what helped save her life. And now the stink eye has been, Calvin, how you doing? And I said, can you know, they're all happy now. So sometimes, you know, that's the way God works. That's the way the universe works.
When
People
you
have
least
to go,
expect
yeah,
it.
you
When
have to
least-
go
yeah.
to it. And then when you see the reality of what you're sitting back talking about, then it makes a difference. And you see that even with the unfortunate shootings in America, with some of the same people who are like avid gun rights owner, but their kid just died in you know, this horrible shooting. Now they're on TV dismantling their guns and up in, you know, the White House saying, hey, you know, you need to do something about it. So when it comes to cannabis, I've seen that the taboo is gone. You see YouTube videos with grandma smoking weed and having fun, and testimonials of lawyers, doctors, teachers that use cannabis, but yet they're like some of the best people in society, and they're you know, they're not losers, they're not stoners. So as you see the taboos start to go away with people that are using it, and they're not fitting the Hollywood stereotypes, you know, then people start to try it, and you know, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Well, so for the people out there that don't use it, that are afraid of it, that still think there is a huge taboo behind it, that believe that if you use it, you're going to be a total loser.
Yes.
I mean, there's, I know, what is wrong with them? What are like maybe the top 2 pieces of advice that you would give somebody who is just either against it or is very, you know, afraid?
And that's a very good question. And I think the answers to those questions is almost the answer to any question when it comes to people who feel those types of ways. Educate yourself.
Yeah.
Ignorance is usually the foundation for most ills in society, no matter what the subject is. So my first thing would be like, go out and educate yourself. Okay? And then the second thing would be like, go out and actually meet someone who actually does use, and find out that, wow, I've looked at this person as an upstanding citizen. They walk their dogs, they you know, they're on the city council, they're on this and that, and then you find out that they use cannabis. That, between those two, that's usually enough to make someone come around. And the third being, well, find yourself in a situation where you need it and it saves your life. That's the ultimate kicker right there.
Okay.
I love it.
Wow.
Amazing. So somewhere in your past, you knew that you wanted to help people.
Yes.
Fast forward, as a scientist, you were educated. You watch, you know, your neighbor live.
Right.
And you saw it help him, and then you discovered a business.
Yeah.
Right.
And you took responsibility after being on the cover of the newspaper, and you owned it.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was what it was.
Especially in a moment like that.
Yes.
Either it's ride or die, as Robert would say.
Yes.
Definitely.
I like that. Ride or die.
Ride or die.
And now and that's what we mean by living it. Like, you're able to make a living doing what you love.
Right.
And what a testimony that you just shared with us. So I want to say thank you for
welcome.
making time to come over and be part of our very first show, Calvin.
I love I'm a pioneer. I love pioneering stuff. So this is the first show. I love it. I'm glad that you felt comfortable enough to bring me on your first show.
Wait, well, you know, like, we actually met Calvin at this party.
Robert and I were at a party.
Yeah, Hollywood party. It was awesome. And at one part when we met, Calvin, you remember, Calvin took out his phone and we did a selfie.
I do remember that.
And he said that we're going to look back on this moment right here.
That's right.
Because we are on the brisk of doing something together.
But we have a secret that we haven't really told any of you out there.
A secret.
A secret. We really haven't told anybody yet, really.
We haven't.
So,
but, you know, you guys will hear all about it.
It's okay. It's good. Yeah.
But we are doing some things together. And so stay tuned, because you'll learn all about that. It is time for us to take a break. And, you know, Calvin, again, thank you for being here and sharing your it with us.
You are so welcome.
And when we come back, Tanya, we're going to talk about magical moments.
Yes, Magical Moments by Tanya Memme.
Okay, so we're going to take a break. Don't leave!
Don't leave!
And we'll see you in just a little bit.
I'm grateful for the life I am living today and wanted to share it. I get to wake up next to my best friend every morning, and we decide what adventure we're going on. There was a time, not that long ago, things had started to change. We stopped going out. There were days when he didn't even feed me. I didn't want to believe it was drugs and alcohol until he said, I have a problem, I need some help, and I can't do this alone. The next thing I knew, we were off to a magical place they called Sober Recovery, and get this, they let me stay. Everybody was so awesome, friendly, and there for Rob in every way. The best part was that they only seemed to care about us getting better. We awoke to warm weather and the beauty of the beach, while amazing chefs prepared our meals. And now look at us, back on top of the world. Thank you, Soba. Love, Rascal.
Wow.
I love that
We are
commercial.
back.
Oh, that's
Wasn't that
so
great?
I love that.
You know, big shout out to Greg Hanley and the Soba family, because they are
Yes.
making a difference when it comes to helping people break free from addiction. But now, Tanya,
Yes,
we're
Robert.
going to have a magical moment,
Yes.
because you have these amazing moments with your daughter that not only do you do it for you and her, but you're willing to share these magical moments with others so that other moms have these same type of experiences, right?
Yes, but one of the things that I actually loved about being on my last TV show, Home and Family, well, this is my current one, but that would have been the last one, the one before this one, is that, you know, I got to really show and inspire parents on how to sort of take your kids away from their iPads and their computers and this and that, and craft with your kids, get involved with your kids, and create these magical moments. And so one of the little magical moments that I wanted to share with you today, which is super cute, is I do this with my daughter. So Ava is 6 years old, and I have this little, it's a blue mailbox, so you can get them on Amazon for $12. And there's a little flag. You know, back in the day when, well, I guess they still do. Most people still have a little flag that goes up.
But I do remember they used to be everywhere.
Everywhere. Everybody had one. And so I bought this little blue mailbox, and we put it in somewhere in the house. We put it on a shelf or somewhere where we can kind of walk, where you want to walk by it every day. And I will sneak in little surprises, and sometimes they're small, sometimes they're bigger, whatever, but little notes, little inspirational thoughts for the day. If she's having a tough day, of course, I would have heard about it, and then I'll write her like a little note.
So when the thing is up, she actually sees that and she looks inside?
Oh, she checks it every day.
And then if she has a message for you,
I'll put the flag up when I have something in there for her, and then when she does something for me, she makes little crafts and does little things, she puts the flag up, and then I know that there's something in the mailbox from her to me.
See, that's pretty
And
cool.
we've been doing it for almost 2 years now.
See, a lot of kids don't even know what a mailbox is for.
I know. No, they don't.
I have my daughters, they're like texting me now. That's how we communicate when we don't see each other, or leave little messages. But I love that idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, and then because I'm separated, and so when she's with her father and she's gone, I'll put something together in there, and that way when she comes back, she always says, "Mommy, is there something in my mailbox?" You know. So
see, I like that, and it's something that
so adorable.
Was it expensive to buy that?
It was $12, $10. You can get them probably for $6 on Amazon.
And see, that's what I would call a magical moment.
Thanks, Robert.
Because it's magical, and it's something that she'll remember for her entire life.
She will, and we don't do it every single day. So a week might go by where there's nothing in the mailbox. So it keeps it fresh. It keeps it surprising, so that when she comes home, she'll be like, "Mommy, is there anything in my mailbox?" "No, not today." "Okay, Mommy." And then, but then when she does have something in the mailbox, she's just over the moon excited.
See, I love that. So if you're a mom, if you're a grandma, if you have a friend, you have a buddy, you know what I mean? Share this. These are good things that we can share with other people.
Yeah.
To give them ideas on how to bring magic into their families.
Yeah.
Right? In their home.
And it doesn't cost much either. I mean, that's the thing. It's very inexpensive.
Now, how do you feel about the magic of the show so far?
I mean, you know, of course, it's our show, so I think it was very magical. I think it's filled with magic. I'm missing one thing.
What's that?
Confetti falling from the sky.
Okay, well...
Can we do that one of our shows?
Actually, I think that's a good idea.
Can we have a huge confetti
I'm not sure if our producer, Andy would like that.
It.
No, he wouldn't like that.
Focus TV Studios might not like it.
I don't think he'll like that.
Okay, what about balloons?
Because someone's got to clean the place up.
Okay, balloons. Can we do balloons falling from the sky at least?
We could do balloons.
Okay. Yeah, I get balloons. I'm a little kid at heart.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take one more break for this entire show.
Sure.
And then when we come back, you guys, okay, when we come back, we're going to wrap the whole show up, bring it all together, and then say goodbye, and then tell you when you can learn more about our next show and all the other things that we're doing, right?
Yep.
So let's take a break, and we'll be right back to close it up.
Welcome back to the Live It Show with Tanya and Robert. Again, this is our very first episode, which we're excited about.
And if you guys notice, it's called Tanya and Robert. I was fighting really hard for it to be Robert and Tanya.
Yes, but I got my way.
She got her way.
I got my way.
Yeah. Well, it's a guy named Andy. You'll hear his name a lot. He's the producer. So Andy and whatever.
Well, Andy does own Focus TV Studios and Focus Magazine, which you got to check out. It's all the highlights and everything that's hot in Hollywood. It's a live streaming talk show, as a network as well, where there's a variety of topics, different talk shows. Ours is one of them. And it's just an awesome, awesome network. So, yeah, but wow, what a show. What a first show. High fiver.
Great show.
Woo, I'm
and,
very happy.
You know, we opened it up where we had our little collagen toast.
Yes, we did.
And so I just wanted to kind of share with you guys that the collagen is the bomb. It's the real deal. And if you want to learn about this collagen, just go to our website at liveitshow.com or go to tanyamammy.com and reach out to us on Facebook if you're catching it there. But we'll tell you all about this amazing collagen because it does work.
It does work. I've been taking it for about, I'm going on 6 months now. And I've noticed a huge, mainly the moisture in my skin, I've noticed. That's pretty big.
Well, tell the people what happened when you quit taking it.
Oh, yeah, that was not, all right. Well, I don't want to take up the entire 5 minutes left, but.
We will always open our show, not with wine, but with collagen.
With collagen.
Yes, and there's a whole story behind that, and so you will just get used to it. You can do a collagen shot with us.
Yes, every time we do our show.
Yes, and then we talked about the Shaper, which is a new device that's going to replace all scales in the marketplace.
A numberless scale. So when you step on it, you don't have to be like, your heart doesn't have, you don't have to have sweaty palms. You're like, oh my God, did I lose or did I gain?
I mean, you literally get colors, and the colors tell you exactly what to do. And then you get these daily missions on how to move the color to where you want it to be. And your body composition gets smaller and everything improves. And
so it's more about doing a good job. So
and you can look at you can see your weight.
I know.
There's a button you click and you can see your weight. You can see your body fat percentage. I mean,
yes, it's an app that you download on your phone, and it through Bluetooth connects with your Shaper, gives you different missions and this and that. But like you said, it's more about body composition than losing or gaining. So
yes.
It gives you, like I said at the beginning of the show, which is my favorite part, it gives you confetti, okay? You get confetti on your phone if you do it right.
She's talking about the confetti.
Well, because it happened to me today. I didn't know that there was going to be confetti. I mean,
oh my goodness.
It happened to me today. Did I not text you going, Robert, I got confetti today?
She was happy about the confetti. Okay. I get it. And then we had our friend, Mr. Calvin Fry, Cal Fry, the cannabis guy. Because cannabis, you know, there's a movement right now.
Huge movement.
And, you know, I did a TV show a little over a year ago where we talked about the medicinal benefits of cannabis because I'm not a recreational user, right?
Right.
Or at least I wasn't then.
Well, you were. I'm so happy that you admitted that.
I'm owning it. It is what it is. Because there are benefits.
And you're about to do another show.
Yes, we're going to do another show where we're going to be talking about the medicinal benefits of cannabis.
Right.
Which is great because, like as I shared with you, I met a woman on our first show.
Yes.
She had stage 4 cancer. She was terminal. They said she was done. She had hospice in the house. And she went on to live another 3 years with quality, all because of cannabis.
So you've actually seen it for
yourself?
Oh,
I saw it.
I have a huge learning curve here, and I know that it's going to be interesting.
It was very educational,
yes.
because I was in that show the guy that was kind of against it, and then I had a co-host who was all for it, and so we would banter. And through the process of doing a show, right, I got educated.
And you only did a couple episodes or one episode, right?
We did a total of 3 episodes, 2 aired, but in the course of, you know how like when you put a show together, you research, you learn, you read all these different things, and so I got educated because I'm from Indiana, and I was born in a Baptist, Methodist type of church.
I totally
spent some time with the Catholics.
I was born and raised Catholic.
And so, you know, when I saw someone consume cannabis, I called it marijuana. And most of the people who did that were lazy. They didn't show up for school.
Well, they weren't. It's just that that's what we were taught.
Yeah,
I mean, I was taught the same thing. My father was like, don't do weed, don't do drugs.
And then, you know, I work with recovery centers. I've seen what happens when people are using a lot of these opiates.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other thing.
Oh, yeah. And so if you want a better night's sleep, instead of getting on some pharmaceutical drugs, if you learn a little bit about cannabis, they can help you get that good night's sleep that you want without falling prey to addiction.
And we're definitely not talking about using it as a drug. We're talking about using it for medical benefits.
Yes. Like, I don't think that we will even mention the word marijuana.
No.
We'll say cannabis because we're on that side.
Right.
But Calvin was great, wasn't he?
Calvin was awesome. I love Calvin. Actually, I've learned a lot from Calvin.
Yes.
And it was really great going to his dispensary as well, because he grows it and taught us. We've learned so much.
He is a scientist.
He is a true scientist.
He is a real scientist.
And his heart is in it.
He's like a hip-hop looking scientist. Like, didn't he look like a hip-hopper, like a rapper more than a scientist?
Remember when we first met him? I honestly thought he was a music manager. I thought for sure he's in the music business, because there were a lot of music people at that party.
Yes.
So, but he wasn't.
Yeah, and at that party, we did see Snoop Dogg.
We saw Snoop Dogg.
Yes, he was there.
We did.
And he was using marijuana. I'm going to say marijuana, not cannabis. I think when it's recreational, we should say marijuana.
I agree. Okay. But anyways, let's talk about our Live It Summit.
Okay, so the Live It Summit, and then I also want to acknowledge the reality that you did talk about your upcoming interview.
Yeah.
We gave everyone a glimpse of that for the first time. And so I want to say thank you for being so strong to step up, because it's not just about you. You're doing it to help other people.
I am. I mean, I was, you know, I left my last TV show almost 2 years ago, and I was, it was a big deal. It was a very big deal. And it was a huge decision that I thought over, and it was hard to leave. It was a job that I didn't want to leave, you know that. But when you feel like you're given no other circumstance, then you leave and you just deal with whatever is on the other side.
That's right. When one door closes, many will open.
Yes.
That's the way it works. True. And then we do have the Live It Summit, so I want to encourage you guys, go to liveitsummit.com and you can learn more about our upcoming events, because we have some cool stuff that's going to be taking place on a regular. And we're going to be doing this show on a weekly basis.
On a weekly basis, yeah. But for the summit event, it actually launches April 7th as
April
well.
7th.
April 7th.
Yes. And very soon you can sign up for it and get the early discount by doing that sooner than later. I think I've rambled enough, Tanya. I'm going to let you take us home, because it's been a great show. I've had a blast.
So have I.
And big shout out to Focus TV, Focus Magazine, Andy and his team. They have been absolutely awesome. And thank you, Tanya, for trusting that I would be a decent enough host. I appreciate
Well,
that.
I knew that you would. You taught me that I can have a fillet of fish and not feel guilty about eating it. All right. Live your it, everybody. Find your passion, find your purpose, live your it. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure that you come visit us again for the next show.
Bye-bye.